Oh, that's a double implicit. That's a double implicit. Alright, so we've made our money. Welcome. It's your friendly neighborhood Badger here, and I am back to jump ship again. Sorry guys, but you would have seen at the start of this video the clip of me getting a +4 carcass jack. I can't in the right mind continue with this character, this strength stacker, while I have a +4 carcass jack and a pathfinder that is leveled to play poisonous concoction on. So that's what we're gonna do, but this video is actually talking about this character because I do have some things to say. Now I know the first video I made about this character, I was really excited about it. And that excitement carried all the way through to level 90 as I grinded levels, I went through to red maps, and honestly it was feeling really, really nice. For the majority of the time, I was going strength stacking with the Tukahama's shield. So let me just grab this one out here because I think it's in my... Oh yeah, you want to see that? There it is. Yeah, there you go guys. Badger has better luck than you, get over it, alright? Okay, the Tukahama's Fortress. So this basically gives you blood magic and mortal conviction, meaning that you don't have to spend 4 points in the tree to get blood magic, and then meaning that you don't have to worry whatsoever about mana issues at all. However, getting up into T16s and everything like that, I was just using Purity of Elements, and that was basically my only defense because I was just investing everything into offense as I was leveling, and then I realized, oh, I'm actually getting one shot by a lot of things, and that's just what happens in Path of Exile if your only layer of defense is life. And yeah, it was 5.7k life, maybe about 3k armor, and I was dying a lot. So I decided to switch out of blood magic. We decided to go for a shield that also, a Shaper shield that gives me the number of summoned totems and increased reservation efficiency, meaning that with some stuff on the tree as well, I could fit in Purity of Elements, Determination, and Tempest Shield, just for a little bit of spell block there as well. Tempest Shield's probably not the best link, but I'm still playing around with the build, right? And so this is how it kind of worked out. In Hideout, we're sitting on 13k armor. With our flask up, we go to about 20k, which is, it's an okay amount to stop physical damage. But the thing is, it's just not enough to really be extremely tanky and me not have to worry too much about placing my totems and just running around. A big thing with a totem build, and I'll quickly show you a map here. Big thing with a totem build is, especially in a high tier map, we'll jump into one, you really want to be placing your totems down in front of you. And then, moving through the pack as your totems clear the pack. But, if you want to go fast, what ends up happening is you put your totems down, you move forward, and then your totems are already behind you clearing, and then you're at the front taking the brunt of everything, where you do want your totems to be taking that. If you play slower and safer, totem builds can be really tanky, but in a league like Scourge League, where you really want that speed, especially if you're scourging items, scourging maps, and everything like that. You put the totems down, right? They clear what's behind me, but I'm already out in front. I'm running into mobs, all that kind of stuff. But totems clear okay. The area of effect on the consecrated path is not too bad, but it has gotten to a point with the build where, number one, I'm still having mana issues. I have to run an Enduring Eternal Mana Flask, and on long boss fights, say for example Cirrus, which we just did one, the DPS uptime is extremely bad because I haven't fixed those mana problems. Now that can be fixed with negative mana cost to non-channeling skills on my rings. That will mean that I'll be able to spam a lot more totems down. But right now, we've got, how much is it? About 225 unreserved. Actually, Tempest Shield should be on, so we only have 123. And that's basically 3 totems on the ground. And then I have no mana for anything else. So I basically have to Enduring Mana, put all my totems down, curse, put my my Vile Ancestral War Chief down. There's just so much that is going into this that just, as I play further and further, and as I start to think about investing more into the build, it's getting to a point where I'm it's either I put another, 10, 20, 30 exalts into this character and I get some quality of life and then I'm still playing totems, or we can use a +4 carcass jack and roll poisonous concoction and speed through the entire content. So This one is on hold for now. I don't know if I'll be coming back to it. If you're enjoying looking at this character, if you like the last video, if you're leveling up a character like this, don't let this put you off the character. It is really good just staying on Blood Magic Tukahama's Fortress. You can do all the content in the game. The investment that I got on the Tukahama's Fortress was around about almost 2.5 million DPS with totems up. And that's non-conditional as well, because it does mean, like, I'm not using a Diamond Flask. That's not taking into account the Wise Oak. It could be closer to 2 million, I would say. 2 million DPS is enough, especially with totems where you're running around. It's enough to be totally fine in the end game. The switch to mana needs more investment for it to feel good. That's all I'll say. I switched way too early. Let me just, hang on, let me just quickly show you this here. Get my totems up. So once they start critting, right, when you see it crit, like, they just chunk. It's really, really nice. So the crit chance going up is really, really gonna help the build. The way to do that is either using a Bottled Faith, using a Diamond Flask can help as well, but the biggest thing is getting an elevated mod of the gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. The gain accuracy rating equal to your strength, if elevated, also gives you 1% critical strike chance per 10 strength, which means that with, 1400 strength like this, that's 140% increased crit strike chance, which is really nice on a Brutus-led Sprinkler, which has close to 8.5% base crit strike chance. And that, right now I'm sitting on, what am I sitting on? It's like 32%. That puts you around about 50% with the helm. But you really want to get higher to the 80 or 90%, which comes with jewels. It comes with just more passive points on the tree. I'm, level 91 right now. Diamond Flask, Bottled Faith, those sorts of things will cap you. But I'm kind of leaving the build where it is right now. So I'll put a POV down below of this character and then maybe a couple of leveling tips and everything like that, but I'll probably give you the character of the Blood Magic version, just because I think it's the far superior version, unless you have another 30, 40, 50 exalts to pump into the build. To get the mana feeling really, really good, Blood Magic is just so nice on a build like this, and Tukahama's Fortress is just basically solves everything for you. You don't have to spend points for it. But just to quickly go over the rest of the gear, our Brutus-led Sprinkle is pretty nice because we did double corrupt it, but you do not need this extra attack speed. You can totally do it with a standard one. This is just a very standard Awakener Orb together Astral Plate with, just normal crit chance and strength on it, percent strength. But you can also run the other version of the build, which I might put in the POB as well, which is an Iron Fortress version, using Iron Fortress, Iron Will on the tree, and Crown of Eyes, meaning that your strength can give you a ton of spell damage, and then Crown of Eyes is converting that spell damage to yourself, and then Iron Fortress is just buffing the increased damage you get from your strength. It's a really, really cool interaction, another really fun way that you can play this build. All in all, I had fun with this build until I started tackling the real endgame content, where I just didn't want to push it any further. Just a bit of a motivation issue on the build. Totem playstyle isn't quite for me, but I had a bit of fun with it. Up until that point. If you want something that is just going to decimate the entire mapping process up until T16s, this is a pretty good build. It will get you a ton of map completion. It'll get you it fairly quickly with things like the cluster jewel that's going to be giving you, I think I've got it up here, if you get Sleepless Sentries on a medium cluster, you have Onslaught if you've summoned a totem recently. It's basically just free Onslaught for the build, giving you move speed. A nice Leap Slam is always really good. Brutus-led Sprinkler has a good base attack speed. It feels relatively smooth until you really start getting into those juicy packs, until you really start juicing up Scourge maps and everything like that. And it's getting to a point where, we're just going to move on. So thanks for watching. The next update that you're going to see from me is hopefully with... I'm going to try for a level 28 Poisonous Concoction in this thing to hit kind of the high cap break point of Poisonous Concoction damage. And we're going to go super zoom on a Pathfinder. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, hit the sub button. That's all I have to say. Until next time, Badger is out.